Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Wednesday, December 15th, 2010. Well, folks, the markets are hitting a key level, mostly to the downside. The Dow is still strong today, up 11 points, but the Nasdaq is down 5 and the S&P 500 is down about 3 on the day. Now, initially, we opened slightly lower, but then had a beautiful move up as the dollar kind of faded off a little bit of a move up. And we saw, again, that optimism coming in, the market again being pushed up by the powers that be, Federal Reserve through POMO and other key ways that they've been propping this market up. However, what we did see is the market start to fade here pretty early on, starting right around 11 o'clock, topping out right around this 50 moving average, and falling all the way down right to this area where, if you note, this is where the markets closed yesterday. So you can see if I put that line right in and just draw it straight across, that's where we started to consolidate. Now, the key is, what type of consolidation is that? Is it a bear flag? Is it a bull flag? What type of consolidation? And clearly, you should, if you've been following any of our videos, be able to tell this is a bearish consolidation pattern, which again tells you there is future downside coming down the pipeline. And markets again relay that and sure enough sell off. Notice the 1, 2 bar, 3 bar surge to the downside. It goes right into the 200 moving average, which is also a double bottom. Now let me ask you this question. What would you be doing there? Would you be a buyer or a seller, or what would you end up doing at that point? And the answer is obviously you'd be a buyer. Now, what are the reasons behind buying? For my members at In the Money Stocks, we always say use 2 In the Money Stocks methodology points to buy or short a stock. All right, well, is there 2 levels there? Are there 2 things there? And the answer is absolutely. You have the double bottom from yesterday, and you have the 200 moving average sloping up. Those 2 levels together will form an 85 to 90% success rate trade on the upside. And look at what's going on here. If you bought on the Pierce of the 200, you're nicely in the money. You have actually 2 little bottoming tails there as well, which again could spell, at least in the short run, a continued little bit of a float back up, just in a tiny way. So again, if you can read these charts, you can literally make money hand over fist. It's really not that hard either, folks. That's the beauty of it. Again, just noting here, the open right here, you move up right into these moving averages. That can be looked at as a little bit of a shorting level. You also have this little pivot high right here. Please note that little pivot high right from these couple candles, along with the 50 moving average. Markets fall, you get a bear flag off of a bear flag underneath the 20 especially. Looks like a great shorting opportunity. Market starts to drop. Where does it go? To the 200 moving average, and now it bounces off of that. So that's your intraday action right now. Now, the next step, what we want to do is take a little bit of a breather and discuss what are the possibilities for the rest of the day. Well, again, one thing of interest, we were talking about a little bit of a micro pullback today as a good possibility. It does seem like that's in play, but I don't think it's going to be much, if much at all. And the reason why I say that is the volume is just so light. We've done 69 million on the SPY, and volume the last couple of weeks has been insanely light. It most likely will continue that way into the end of the year because of the holidays. The only thing that would change that is if we got a major event out of Europe or out of Asia. As long as things remain quiet across the board, you have to assume the markets may go up a little bit, down a little bit, but overall have that neutral to slight upside bias for the remainder of the year. All right, so you have to make sure you understand that. Now, overall, there's been some great plays, and again, the Research Center continues to pay bank to its members. Research Center, again, after the initial candle down here, we took the CRE off the bearish pro trader watch list, again with a bearish tint to it. Ever since it topped out a couple days ago, we nailed it going on Monday from basically 73 all the way down to about this level down here, which was at 65, 66. So unbelievable drop on CRE. Next up, what did you want to look at? Let's take a look at a couple other things here. First off, we have to be aware Freeport-McMoRan is down $2. That's another play on the bearish pro trader watch list. It was added right over in this level, right around 116 to 117. It is now trading in the 112 range. So you can see it's just, again, bam, 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 profit, 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 profit. And all we're doing is using the methodology, looking for the plays that have 2 signals based on our methodology to call out either as bullish or bearish. And it's not all bearish right now. A lot of stocks are extended and they're looking for a little bit of pullbacks, and that's why we're seeing them, and that's why we're making money. But it can the next day be bullish plays, and you never know which way it's going to angle. And I actually added 2 new trades to the the pro trader watch list on the bearish side today at certain levels. And again, if you want access to that and you want to be on board for a winner, you need to join that research center. $49.99 a month to make thousands, if not tens of thousands, if not millions. That's the beauty of it right there. That's all it is, just $49.99 a month. All right, so again, Freeport McMoran getting pounded. Now, why would the dollar be weak today, guys? Why would the markets be weak today? And the answer would be because the dollar is strong. Look at the move on the dollar today. Powerful move to the upside, and that's just putting enough pressure on the markets to have them mostly negative. Again, we mentioned the Dow is positive, but for the most part, the S&P and the Nasdaq, those are the indexes that actually matter more, since the Dow is only a minor amount of stocks inclusive. The Nasdaq and the S&P are the important indexes, and those are down because the dollar is up. It's just putting a little bit of pressure on commodities, a little bit of pressure on the markets. And again, if we take a look at the USO today, USO is up a little bit after oil inventories. You can see that nice pop on oil inventories, but even then, oil has come back in because the dollar's been so strong. The GLD is getting hit a little bit today, down 80 cents. Not much there. And again, the SLV, which is silver, we'll bring up that chart, is down about 26 cents on the day as well. So again, commodities overall mostly under pressure. If you look at the vast majority of commodities, except for oil, oil's up a little bit, but the majority of the other commodities are lower. All right, now let's go over a couple other things here that I want to just touch base on. We'll go back to the SPY. You can see the SPY is still holding that 200 moving average. You got a nice little pop there. For those of us that scalped it, you just took your money off the table on the last little pop for a nice little gain. And again, that's all it's about. If you're an intraday trader, you're just looking for these small little gains here and continuing to make money as such. A couple other things to go over, as I mentioned. Let's take a look at some other stocks. Goldman Sachs is trading down at $1.44. And again, Goldman had a nice little drop yesterday. The interesting thing that I called out on Goldman, take a look at this, guys. I was telling my chat room members, and I might have even told the Research Center in one of the nightly videos, that at 171-ish would be your shorting level on Goldman. And I said that about a week ago. Sure enough, just on Monday, what was the high on Goldman? Look at that, guys. Right up into this double top level right up here. That's a beautiful thing. Right there. Double top, and then look at the pullback. So again, just look for these chart patterns. That's what it's all about, just focusing in on the chart patterns, finding the right ones, and the rest will take care of itself. All right, JP Morgan today is down another 36 cents. That's a beautiful push up. You can see it got above this level, never confirmed, came right back in. Probably this is going to be your support line right down here, right around the 200. That'll be minor support. Then the major support will be right in this range down here. All right. Apple Computer, let's take a look at Apple today. Apple's down 3 cents, really no change on Apple. Apple's just been one of those stocks that's gone sideways here. We've had some market volatility, but overall, a sideways market is what we're getting on Apple Computer. Amazon, on the other hand, is pretty strong, considering the markets are somewhat on the weak side today. Amazon continues to be very strong, up about $2.15. All right. Other than that, small cap wise, one of my favorite small caps right now is PLG, Platinum Group Metals. It's trading at a 7 PE on the Amex, and again, George Soros has been picking it up, as well as being added to the S&P, one of these S&P mining indexes. So again, funds will have to pick it up, but the PLG again inching up a little bit today to 225-ish area. Again, I like it. Most likely we'll have some further upside as those continue to be driving forces. And again, it makes good money. Platinum, again, we talk about metals here that are used in industrial production as well as being a rare metal for value and wealth. That continues to be a very lucrative stock, I believe. And again, starting to hit my radar here around 225 or below seems to be a very cheap level. So continue to watch that one, folks. I do like it. That's my play of the day on the small cap side. We did make some good money on some other small caps this morning. One of the small caps I gave to my members here in the intraday stock chat was the BioCryst Pharmaceuticals at around 518. It ran to about 536. We took our money and ran, and that was a beautiful play on BCRX, which is an old bird flu stock from back in the day. All right, enough said. Have a wonderful rest of the day. I will talk to you, those of you in the Research Center, tonight in the nightly video. Join the Research Center. Join the chat room. We'll see you there.